Okay, so we have confluence aloft today, and usually that is bad for thunderstorms, but there are other factors at play that they are not considering here. So we have high humidity, high dew points, and winds in two different directions. And the fact that the radar is already showing very isolated shower and thunderstorm activity south and north of us, and just a few isolated storms popping up to the west of us, I'm not going with their dry forecast for today for several different reasons. One, high humidity. Two, high dew points. Three, good CAPE of around 1,000 kilojoules, and good solar insolation this afternoon. And we still have thunderstorms popping up, isolated showers, I should say, popping up to the west of us, to the north of us, and to the south of us. And we have a west-southwest to a northwesterly flow. So we have a southwesterly flow at one direction, northwesterly flow at another direction, and these cause actually convergence. So I'm not going with a very dry forecast like the National Weather Service is insisting today that we're not going to have any thunderstorms in the valleys whatsoever, because that's not true. We already have a couple of thunderstorms popping up in the general proximity of the valley locations. They're very isolated, and they're mostly showers more than thunderstorms. So I'm not going with a very dry forecast like the National Weather Service is insisting on going on today. Several of my models, earlier ones and later ones, are still painting some pretty hefty thunderstorm cells, basically from Mesa and points east this afternoon, and show a couple of them back building in towards Gilbert and Chandler. So I'm not going with the fact. Another fact is we had rain the last 2 days. These areas are moist, so usually thunderstorms will take advantage of that moist surface and grow. So I'm not going with a very dry forecast. I refuse to go with the dry forecast on those situations today, given those situations. But most likely scenario is that I will not see rain at my house today. We will have several cells to the west, northwest, southeast, and east of my location, and I think we're going to kind of be sandwiched in between the clouds today. So I do expect a good amount of cumulus field to develop this afternoon, but again, it depends on how much CAPE and instability we can get. If we might be able to break that convergence zone, confluent flow, if we get the thunderstorms to break through that, because there are winds coming at different directions, northwest, northeast, southeast, and southwest, and they're all converging in the center of the state. So it is possible, even with all the confluent flow of winds, that we might see a thunderstorm. And if we do see a thunderstorm today, it could be quite powerful with a lot of very heavy rain and some lightning and thunder. So I'm going to keep a close eye on it. I'm not saying we're not going to see anything, but definitely it's worth keeping an eye on. Excuse me for the video, it's dark out here, it's 4:30 in the morning. But I'm staying up because there's just several factors here at play today that are pointing to an active day. So I'm not going with the dry forecast like the National Weather Service is insisting on going on right now. Now, if the cumulus develop late, like 3 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and we don't see much cumulus development here in the valleys, I'm going to go with the dry forecast. But if I start seeing cumulus popping up 11:30, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock even in the afternoon all around, and they start growing into cumulonimbus, then the forecast is incorrect. So we're going to see exactly what happens as we go through the day. I'm going to stay up and see what happens as far as getting cumulus development across the deserts today. So we're going to keep you guys posted on this and see what happens. It's not a given, nothing's set in stone. They said mostly confluent. So that means there are several other little nidbits that are factoring into the forecast here. So we're going to keep you guys posted. It could be a very active day today, or it could be nothing. So it's a 50-50 chance. We have about a 20 to 30% chance of measurable rainfall at any one given location in the valley today. So it's really interesting to see how this weather's going to play out today. There's a lot of different factors that need to be taken into account here on what type of day we're going to see. So I named several of them off to you. It's a 50-50 chance, and we'll see what happens after about 11 a.m. as the clouds begin to form over the region in this atmosphere. So I'll have a better handle on what this atmosphere is like as I watch the cumulus clouds form this afternoon. If they go up and then start to sink or detach, that means the confluence is going to win. Now, if they start continuing to build and really hold that updraft, and start to anvil out and get really tall into cumulus congestus, then the forecast is wrong and the confluence is not winning. So I'm going to watch the cumulus clouds today, see where they form, how quickly they grow, and see if we have any outflow boundaries that might help to trigger new storms in the air. So we'll keep you guys posted. Should be an interesting weather day as far as what's going to happen. So again, it's very humid out here right now. We have a dew point at 74 degrees, humidity 63%, and a light wind out of the southeast at about 3 miles an hour. So again, the ingredients are there. We do have a good amount of CAPE over the region, so we're going to have to keep you guys posted when we'll watch the cumulus clouds for today, see if they build into cumulonimbus and where the proximity of these cumulus and cumulonimbus are going to grow. So should be an interesting day. It's a 50-50 chance. I'm not going to get mad if it doesn't rain, because we've had rain the last 2 or 3 days. I'm not bitching, but we're definitely going to keep a close eye on the forecast today, because there are several different things that are taking place here. We'll talk to you guys all later. Keep you updated.